Hey guys, what's going on? Kel back here yet again, bringing you another Warhammer 40,000 related video straight from the Warhammer 40,000 community page. Today we're going to be doing a faction focus on what I think, me personally, is the best Chaos Space Marine chapter and army. It is the Death Guard. But before we get into that, thank you for everyone who supported the channel over the first month. It's been really good to see so many people coming onto the channel with likes and subscribes and comments and all that jazz. So thank you very much. If you're new to the channel, if this is the first video you've ever seen from us, we post Warhammer 40,000 content every single day. At the moment, it is just news and reviews, but in the future, it will be things like more painting videos. We've done one painting video, but it will be more in the future. And of course, everyone's favourite, Warhammer 40k battle reports. We might get a few done for 8th edition, but hopefully we'll get the first ones done with the beginning 9th edition. So yeah, like I said at the beginning, guys, this video is going to be faction focus on the Death Guard, so let's get into it. So, earlier this week we introduced how the Chaos Space Marines would be looking in the new edition of Warhammer 40,000, yet the Death Guard and Thousand Sons were notably absent. Well, that's because they're each getting their own faction focus, starting with today's installment on the Death Guard. This time around, we're joined by playtester and Death Guard aficionado Sam Lucidi. If that's pronounced wrong, I apologise. Who will be giving us the insider knowledge on Mortarion or Mortarion, however you pronounce that, Mortarion's Legion. And I love the look of the Death Guard, the whole, the decay, the poison, the rot that Grandfather Nurgle's given them, and the Mortarion model is brilliant. I think it's one of the best models in the entire Warhammer 40,000 range. So who are they? Like their fellow traitor legions, the Death Guard were once stoic and loyal followers of the Emperor, until ill fate saw them corrupted, both in mind and body, by the plague god Nurgle. They are now his greatest mortal champions, and their Primarch, the Death Lord Mortarion, is among the most revered demon princes of Nurgle. The Death Guard march into battle with rotten, swollen bodies, embalm them to shrug off injuries that would slay any other warrior outright, which is true. I've played against the Death Guard multiple times against Colin, and they are one of the most stubborn 40,000 armies to get off the tabletop, just because of the disgustingly resilient rolls and revoltingly resilient rolls and all the buffs they can give each other to make those rolls higher. They can be a pain in the backside to shift off the tabletop. So how will they play in the new edition? Here's where we hand over to Sam Lucidi, who'll be giving his thoughts on the future of the Death Guard, as well as championing the use of pure Death Guard armies, uncorrupted by the clean taint of allies. Sam is a well-established tournament organizer and a regular on the tabletop, on the top tables of podiums of events across the US. And then we've got another picture there. There's a Plague Burst Crawler, Mortarion again. Looks like the fight of the Adeptus Mechanicus. Yeah, it looks really good. And some of the Terminator models, like the Death Shroud Terminator models and Typhus, the models are so good. Like, there's tiny little details in pretty much every Death Guard model that I've always been a fan of. I would not be able to do painting a Death Guard army justice, but I've seen some very good ones. So Sam says, my favourite change of the new edition is how many more command points the servants of the Plague God have at their disposal. My Death Guard army usually didn't have more than 8 or 9 command points, most of which I spend to use on Cloud of Fly stratagem to shield an important unit each round. Now, not only will my army start the game with more command points, but I'll gain a bonus command point in each of my turns. That bonus means I can activate Cloud of Flies every single round and still have 12 command points left in a Strike Force game for more powerful stratagems. And of course, Cloud of Flies costs 1 CP, and you use the stratagem during your movement phase. Select a Death Guard infantry unit until the start of your next movement phase. Enemy models can only shoot this unit if it is the closest visible target. And normally that would go on stuff like Terminators and munchy units in combat. So you get them as close as you can as possible, and then you slam them into combat. And with putting this on, they can't be targeted, like it says, unless they are the closest. With the new additions match play mission, it's more important than ever to keep sight of your objectives. When my Death Guard army takes to the field, I plan to be patient and play the long game. The Death Guard's superior durability means that my opponents will struggle to kill my scoring units while I focus on playing the mission. My demon engines, terminators and characters will confidently hold the centre of the battlefield while I grind down the enemy in a battle of attrition, leaving my poxwalkers and plague marines free to take advantage of the terrain to advance and claim objectives. And the key units, Sam's not done yet. He's also got some handy advice on which Death Guard units and one combination in particular will be great options around for your army. Okay, so we've got the Plague Bear's Crawler. I love the look of this thing. Just a big fat square tank. Sits at the back and fires that big mortar cannon just to wreck things. So Sam says the Death Guard get a lot of value out of the new rules of vehicles. I've always loved the use of Plague Bear's Crawlers to engage the enemy with their Plague Spitters while the rest of my army advances behind them. But canny opponents knew how to lock the Crawlers into combat to shut down their guns. Under the new rules, my Plague Bear's Crawler are just as deadly with their Plague Spitters even while locked in combat. Not only that, but now my Crawlers can fire their nasty Plague Bear's Mortars, which are now blast weapons too, on the move without suffering a hit penalty. And the Plague Bear's Mortar is range 12 to 48 inches, so it's like a mortar. If your models are closer than 12 inches, then you can't shoot. It is a heavy D6 shots, it's strength 8, AP -2 and D3 damage. When it hits and gets through, it's a nasty weapon to come up against this. Abilities, the Plague Weapon. This weapon can target units that are not visible to the firing model. So basically you can sit at the back or put it behind cover, weave it in and out of buildings and fire at will at stuff that you don't need line of sight for. Like I said before, deadly weapon. I'm sure you guys who are watching this YouTube channel can appreciate that, and you've come up against it before. And we have the Death Shroud Terminators. These things look cool with the size. I've always liked these. I think these are cracking looking models. And Sam says, the Death Guard have lots of great characters and I use quite a lot of them in my army. But in the new rules, characters are much more vulnerable to shooting, since they're only protected if they're near another unit. This is a great opportunity for Death Shroud Terminators to shine, as they make excellent bodyguards for Death Guard characters, not only absorbing hits for them, but also increasing their attacks, and they're no slouches in combat to boot. And their rule is Silent Bodyguard. You roll a dice. Each time a friendly Death Guard character is hit by a ranged weapon or melee weapon whilst within 3 inches of the unit. On a 2+, one of the Death Shroud intercepts the hit. The character is not hit by the attack, but this unit is instead. So if you're trying to keep important characters like Typhus or Mortarion or anyone else alive, then put a group of these guys next to it and they will happily take the wounds, take the punishment in spare of your characters. And we've got Blightlord Terminators and Foul Blightspawn. Look at the Foul Blightspawn on the right. Where it's skull grenade stick and its little gremlin buggy thing trying to help it. The Death Guard are cool looking, man. Like I've said before, I can't do them justice, but I've seen some fantastic Death Guard painted armies out there. Especially as well in the original Death Guard colours, which were like a bony white. I've seen some really good ones of those. And Sam says, an already great pairing of units made even better by the new rules is a big unit of Blightlord Terminators backed up by a Foul Blightspawn. Since the player who isn't taking their turn gets to choose the first non-charging unit to fight with, the Foul Blightspawn's revolting stench ensures that Blightlords will fight first against enemy units that dare charge them. Blightlords are already brutal in combat and incredibly durable, and this combo makes them even harder for your opponent to deal with. I'll know I'll be making these units a central component of my army. And for the others of you who don't know, we have Revolting Stench. Enemy units that charged this turn and are within 7 inches of this model at the start of the fight phase are struck by the stench are so foul that they falter, losing their impetus. Such a unit does not get to fight first in the fight phase, but can be chosen to fight like other units that did not charge. This ability also affects units who have abilities that would enable them to fight first as if they were charged, which is massive. Whenever you get the opportunity to put something on the back foot and make them go second in the fight phase, in any phase really, it is a massive boost. And it ends with, so thanks Sam, we're looking forward to leading the Death Guard in the battle in the new edition. Let us know which units you're looking to dominate the battlefields of the 41st millennium with on the Warhammer 40,000 Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter, using the hashtag #New40k. That's going to be it, guys. Some rules there just to go over what they had in the past. And it's good to see that they've got a veteran player to sort of explain how he would be using the Death Guard in the future. I love it when they put stuff up like this. I think it's really good, really interesting, and really comprehensive. But what do you guys think? Leave some comments below. Are you Death Guard players? Have you come up against Death Guard before? Will you be getting some Death Guard in the new edition? Let me and Cole know. We would love to hear from every single one of you. If you're new to the channel, like I said at the beginning, we post Warhammer 40,000 content every single day, as long as there is stuff going up on the Warhammer community page. We'll quite happily do a video on it. So if you're new and you've watched all the way at the end, please like the video if you can, leave some comments, and more importantly, subscribe, guys. We're trying to push really hard to get our first 100 subscribers, and you never know, we might be doing something interesting, something exciting when we get to 100 subs. But I won't say much more on that. So the quicker we get to 100 subs, the quicker you guys can find out. But yeah, that'd be really good, guys. And that's going to be it. Just a quick video. And if there's anything else goes up, I'll happily do a video on those as well. But this is Kel signing out for 40k, saying thank you very much for watching. Stay safe, look after each other. Until next time, guys, we'll see you all later.